Okay, everybody, this is Kent, and I'm going to show you a trick to getting into New York City quick. Now, want to make sure you understand you're going to have to park in the city, and that's a little bit expensive, but this is the Lincoln Tunnel, and it's going to cost you $15 to drive your car through the tunnel. And then when you park, you're probably going to pay $30 to $45 to park. Where I'm going to take you is probably $30 to $35. I'm going to park on top of the Port Authority building. And what's so great about what I'm showing you is how quick and easy it is to get into your parking space and how easy it is to get out of your parking space and out of the city. If you're coming into New York City, you need to be clear about one thing. You're not going to be moving your car throughout the city at different places. You're probably going to find one parking spot. You're going to pay a lot of money to park the car there. And then you're going to take subways or Uber, or maybe you'll just walk or take taxis. Now, where I'm taking you, it's actually a great parking lot for Times Square and for the theater district. And so we're in the Lincoln Tunnel right now, and I want to be in the left lane. You want to be in the left lane if you're going to do what I'm going to show you, because when we come out of Lincoln Tunnel, the right lane is going to split and go a completely different direction than I want to go. And if you do that, this won't work as well. So right now we're in the bottom of the tunnel. We're getting ready to go uphill, coming out of it. The tunnel takes a couple minutes to come through. If you've never come to the city, or if you're always feeling intimidated about the city, I want to share this with you because it's a really easy way to get in and out. You can take subways or buses and all that stuff. I personally like to drive in because I like to be able to get out when I want to. I don't want to have to worry about the bus schedule or a train schedule. I just like to be able to get to my car and get out. And what I can do at the parking place that I'm taking you, when it's time to leave, I literally leave my parking lot and I go straight down the ramp out of my parking lot, straight into the Lincoln Tunnel, and within like 2 or 3 minutes, I am out of New York City. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Another advantage with this is that when I get parked, I'm right above the subway station. So no matter where I want to go in the city, if I'm willing to ride the subway, it's just a couple floors down. You buy your subway pass and you go where you want to go. The subway's a little bit confusing. I still don't really feel comfortable doing it, but there's always people to ask, and people are helpful, and you'll get a neat experience on the subway. I've taken my wife and kids on the subway, and they've enjoyed it. One time we saw a monster rat across the tracks from us, so it wasn't anywhere close to us, but you even get to see some of the wildlife in the city. The tunnel, if you don't like tunnels, it's pretty long. It takes a couple minutes, but it's pretty organized. Traffic getting into New York City, it's heavy at times, but it's usually fairly orderly. There's a couple lanes. There's a couple places when you try to get to the tunnel where you have like 4 lanes become 3, and that's a little dicey, but just be careful, be patient, and use your mirrors, look over your shoulder if you can, or ask people in the car to help you. But once you get into the 3 lanes of traffic leading into the tunnel, it's just basically driving straight, watching your speed, not getting too close to the guy in front of you, and not getting too close to the people on the side of you. It's just like normal driving, just like around a small little city that you might be in that doesn't scare you. So New York City is basically like driving in a little city where it's really heavy traffic in the little city. It's a whole lot of little city. That's how I kind of look at it. So I feel like right now I'm starting to get close to the end. And I tell people that being in the Lincoln Tunnel is probably the closest experience you're going to have to coming out of your mother's birth canal. And what I mean by that is you're in this dark tunnel. It's relatively quiet. It's relatively peaceful. Your heart's not really racing because everything around you is just kind of calm. But all of a sudden, when you come out the other end, it gets really bright in the daytime. Nighttime, there's a lot of lights, so it still gets pretty bright. But it gets really bright, and it gets really noisy and really hectic. And I just got to imagine that for a newborn baby to come out of the birth canal and all of a sudden be exposed to the greater world all around them, it must be really scary. And New York City coming out of Lincoln Tunnel has the exact same effect on me. I mean, my heart is going to start to race a little bit. Now, not much, because I know where I'm going. I'm pretty confident with what I'm doing. And if you follow my directions, you don't have to get too panicked about coming out of this tunnel. But if you ever do the tunnel, just think about that, because it's so calm in here, and all of a sudden, bam, the whole world's going to change. It's going to get chaotic. So we're coming out, and the reason I said you need to stay in this left lane, the two lanes are going to split. If you go in the right lane, I don't know how to help you at that point, but we're going to come out of this on this lane, and we're going to try and get to the right. And what we're going to look for a sign that says buses with an arrow pointing to the right. We're going to take that ramp following the bus sign. Now, you're going to think, why would I take a bus sign? I'm in a car. Well, it's kind of deceiving, but that sign says buses, but as soon as you get on that ramp and go around the curve, it's going to have a split off for cars. I believe the car goes straight and the buses go right. And it's going to take you up to a parking lot for cars. And that's the critical thing here. You want to get in that parking lot, because not only is it easy to get in, but it's super easy to get out. So here I am. I'm coming out of the tunnel, and all of a sudden, this city is in front of me. Now, certain times of the day, the horns are honking, and it's just going nuts. But right now, it's not so bad. We're actually following a lot of buses in. But we are right now in New York City, and I'm going to go over here to the left, and I'm going to get in the far right lane, because I want to take the sign that says buses. And right here it is. You see it? I don't know if this video is going to show up, but I'm going to follow this sign for busing. And you see it as parking, theater in Times Square, open 24 hours. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to get in the left lane for the cars. And I'm following the cars. Now, I'm going to be parking on top of the the Port Authority building. So you just go around. And now I'm going into a parking garage. Now, I personally like to get to the top of the garage. There's a couple reasons for that. Really doesn't matter where you park, I guess. But, okay, so this is... this is the toll booth. I gotta take my ticket. Got my ticket. The gate's going up. Now, I like to park on the top because I like the, I don't know, I like the open air feeling of it. I recognize that, you know, it's not as protected from the weather, but I also know that it's brighter, and there's buildings all around me. So if somebody wants to mess around with my car or with me or my family while we're getting to the car, I feel like we have a little more protection out in the open. So I try to get into an open spot, and I just passed it. So I'll have to kind of not really turn around, but I have to go around to get to the spot. Always let people that are walking cross. You don't want to hit anyone in New York City. You don't want to get in the police station. So I could have made a left earlier, but here I am. I am coming out into an area that I am comfortable parking my car overnight. And like I said, I feel like when I'm out here, there's enough eyes in the sky, so to speak, that I'm not really worried about people screwing around with my car. That's the way I see it. I'm going to just park here. So folks, this video is 9 minutes. I started at the beginning of the tunnel, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to see what it's really like to pull into New York City, park your car, and from here, I'm a few minutes from the theater, a few minutes from Times Square, and I'm actually in a hotel about 4 blocks from here, so I'm going to walk to the hotel. This is a relatively safe part of town, and your car is going to be safe up here, or at least it should be. And as you can see, there's lots and lots of people all around us here that look out windows and see what's happening. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you. Don't be afraid of New York City. It's an easy town to visit if you don't mind driving. Take care.